I'm Peter Van Duzen. You can always count on CPAC to give you more on the big stories. We'll be owning the hot-button issues, going beyond the headlines to provide more context, more voices, more information. What do I mean? Check out our new website on electoral reform. It's the one place you can go to understand the issue, the options, and the arguments around changing the way we vote. And we'll be launching a number of these sites on key public policy issues such as healthcare, pipelines, Senate reform, marijuana legalization, climate change, and more. We're boosting our presence on social media too, so you can watch anywhere, anytime. And each weeknight, Primetime Politics will be back to provide the balance and perspective you've come to know. And we'll continue to set our own agenda with in-depth stories on the political decisions that affect all Canadians. Case in point, make sure to watch our special series called The Letters, coming up this fall.
I'm Holly Doan. CPAC examines the Prime Minister's mandate letters to ministers, his promises on fish farming and food labels, on immigration and employment insurance, on the cost of climate change, and correcting Ottawa's culture of secrecy, and in every letter, Indigenous Canadians.
Revue politique, c'est la seule émission quotidienne francophone qui vous offre un panel de 4 députés qui débattent de projets de loi et de sujets chauds de l'actualité parlementaire. Ici Pierre Donnet, Revue politique, à voir à CPAC.
I'm Jacqueline Molcharik. Join me as I travel to ridings right across the country, from cities big and small, spending time with some of the country's most important decision makers and getting them to share their personal stories. Now, these are candid, sometimes funny, and often emotional conversations. In fact, you may see a side to someone you never expected. So, get to know the nation's political leaders a little bit better on My Personal Story.
Well, for me, Primetime Politics, the weekend edition, is a chance to look at what's been happening during the week, look at some of the people involved, some of the issues, and maybe even some of the things behind some of the stories that have flown under the radar. It's a chance to look at why things are happening and to prepare you for the week to come.
Canadians want to be engaged. They have questions and want to be heard, and their opinions matter to us. I'm Glenn McGuinness. Join me for a brand new season of Outburst, the show that goes across the country to hear Canadians talk about the issues that matter to them.
Ici Danielle Young. Parce qu'il y a des personnages et des événements qui ont marqué notre histoire, parce qu'il y a des enjeux contemporains cruciaux, je vous présente en français de nouveaux documentaires fouillés pour vous aider à comprendre, sans complaisance, notre société.
This season, we're bringing you CPAC's Sunday night feature presentations, including our groundbreaking signature documentaries and CPAC specials that go beyond the headlines to inform and engage. Now, we're kickstarting these Sunday night feature presentations with our CPAC original documentary, Transgender Journey, The Struggle for Rights and Respect. These are the personal stories of transgender Canadians as they fight for equality. Now, later in the fall, we'll be bringing you Inside the Supreme Court of Canada, a documentary looking at the history and evolution of the Supreme Court, all made possible through unprecedented access to the court and all of the justices who speak candidly about their roles and the way they make decisions. And that's not all. There's more.
Thank you, Peter. So CPAC is in the team. We're very proud to launch 2 new shows this fall. The first one is our new weekly international affairs programs, and tonight you have a scoop, the title. The name of it is called Perspective with Alison Smith. Let me introduce you to our host, a veteran journalist who spent more than 37 years, I think, as a CBC television reporter, a Washington correspondent, host of many in-depth news shows on News Network, and for 5 years the host of Word at 6 on CBC Radio. She is renowned for her credibility, her fairness, her intelligence, and her depth. Please welcome Alison Smith.
Thank you. I'm so pleased to be part of the CPAC team and delighted also to be in at the very beginning of creating a new program for the network, and a program, in fact, that's unique in Canada. Perspective will be the only broadcast in this country that is devoted to Canada's place in the world. We want to explore Canada's influence in the world and also how others influence us. Take a look at how Canadians view Canada's situation in the world, and just as important, how others see us as well. I've always liked to listen to smart people talk. And I hope that in my conversations with smart thinkers and analysts that we'll give our audience some nuggets of wisdom, but dare I say, a new perspective. That our viewers will say at the end of the program, well, you know, I hadn't thought about it that way before. So I hope you'll all be viewers. Thank you.
So the first edition of Perspective with Alison Smith airs on Sunday, November 20th at 10:30. The second show, and a very important addition for us, is we're very pleased to announce that CPAC is entering the world of audio with a daily podcast. This must-listen set-up to the day for political junkies will be hosted by another veteran and very respected broadcaster, a long-time friend and member of the CPAC family, Mark Sutcliffe.
Merci, Catherine. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. As Catherine said, we've launched this new podcast. In fact, the first edition was this morning. It's called CPAC Today in Politics, and our goal every morning is to give you a quick and concise and entertaining look ahead at the day in Canadian politics. So we'll share with you the news headlines of the day. We'll also give you a sense of what some of the pundits and political commentators and editorialists are writing about and talking about that are top of mind for them, and then we'll tell you what's on the schedule for the day, what the agenda is for the day in Canadian politics. And the idea is to give you a very comprehensive but very fast-paced look ahead at the day in politics. So we're venturing into some new territory, as Catherine mentioned, by sharing this podcast with political junkies here in Ottawa and across the country. And we're very excited about it. And the idea is just to start you off informed. It's not a long podcast. Most of the people who are listening to it will probably not have a very long commute into work in Ottawa. So we want you to be able to listen on your bike or in your car or in your homes or at the office. But we want to be able to bring you up to date quickly and let you know what's happening as you start your day. So look forward to chatting with you every morning now with CPAC Today in Politics. Thank you.